Hello everyone, welcome here to another video on the channel. Today I am going to talk about the topic I mentioned in the first video, which is the modern gaming one. Uh, it's not a slighter to modern gaming at all. Gamings are still great, there's still so many great games that come out pretty often, actually all the time almost. There's still great games. Marvel Rivals is an incredible game. Um, Helldivers 2 that came out last year. So many other great games that I can't really think of off the top of my head, but you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of great games. Uh, This video and my conversation about it, what's going to be talking about, is mostly to talk about more of the free-to-play games or the games that use a live service type ordeal. The ones that say they have a very long roadmap and then they end up failing. I mean, there's so many games that go like, oh, we have I don't know, like a 3-year roadmap or something, and we know exactly what we want to add to the game, and then the game dies before it can even reach that. Like, why make these promises if the game's just not going to take off? I mean, obviously they can't assume that the game's not going to succeed, but like, like they go like, oh, well, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to add this, we're going to add that, all this ambitious stuff, and then the game just doesn't make it. So, but yeah, so that's the topic about this video. Again, there are still great games out there. I'm mostly talking about the free to play ones. Not all of them, of course. Marvel Rivals is free to play and it's a great game. Um, but yeah, that's the topic for today. So let's get right into it. I want to talk about probably the most iconic game, one of the most iconic, but not for a good reason, for a bad one. Concord. We all know it. It failed miserably. Failed in the most uh, spectacular fashion. That game took like it cost a lot of money to make for some reason. It took a long time to make, and it came out and it died so fast, and it did not sell well at all. And PlayStation was going, or someone in Sony were like, "Oh, this is going to be our Star Wars." Like, are you sure about that? Well, let's talk about our first example because I have four examples of games to talk about. I hope I have enough gameplay recorded because when you watch if you watch the next video I have, which is the Super Bowl video, I ran out of gameplay like twice, and I did not know that video was going to be that long. I only recorded like 13 minutes, thinking the video would be like 13 minutes. I'm going to improve from that mistake. I want you to know, with this channel, any kind of mistake I make, or like, this channel will improve over time, and I will improve over time, because obviously I'm starting this for the first time in like 3 years. And even when I had my original YouTube channel, it's the same thing. Only difference is with my original YouTube channel, I only uploaded like meme showcases for like a majority of my time on YouTube until I finally kind of got past it and finally decided to upload videos with commentary. One of my first one was making fun of Call of Duty Vanguard, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about Concord, of course. So Concord, I believe it came out. I gotta find out when it came out again. I think it came out last year, right? When did it come out? Let's find out. Concord come out. Yeah, Concord. When did it come out? When did it release? August 23rd, 2024. So yeah, it was last year. And when did it shut down? I want to know that. When did it shut down? I think it shut down legit like a month later. No, oh yeah, yeah, it did shut down a month later. It shut down September 6th. Hopefully my Google ain't lying to me. Um, Shut down September 6th, legit a month after coming out. It's pretty bad. Um, it's like the game came out, right? And it's a hero shooter, I believe. I think that's what it is. I don't know much about the game. I just know that it sucks. But it's a hero shooter, and in terms of that genre kind of game, there's a couple. There's I think Valorant's a hero shooter, right? I don't know shit about Valorant. Pretty sure it is, or a type of one. And there's obviously Overwatch. And now there's Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals just recently came out, but Marvel Rivals is a great game. It's better than Overwatch. Um, the Concord comes out August 2020, whatever. I already forgot my memory. Yeah, August 23rd. It comes out and shuts down a legit month later. Selling like what? According to here, at least what I'm reading, it only 25,000 units. Yeah. So it's just it did not have, and I think on Steam especially, it did not have anybody playing it. It had like I don't think it even broke 1,000 on Steam or PC or anything. And when it comes to the game on like PlayStation, I'm not sure if anyone was playing it. I mean, obviously people did play it, but I feel bad for the people who like bought it and then like it got shut down a month later. That must be pretty crazy to buy the game and then have it just shut down a month later. Like, oh, they're charging $40 for that game. Like, it used a free to play formula, from what I know, and I have a picture coming up. I have it. They have characters that look like this. What is this? This is some terrible, terrible, terrible game design. I mean, it's ugly. If you want to make a game, please don't make your characters look like that, for the love of God, because that's just awful. I think that's one thing I remember seeing when the game came out, or when the game was shown off to people. People did not mention that it looked good. They mentioned that the characters look stupid. Those characters look terrible. They look awful. I got another example coming up. Like, what is this design? I don't know anything about design characters like that, but I mean, what is this? It's like, ah, I don't even know what to say. It's just bad. It's that bad. Concord, I have another picture coming up to talk about. It cost $400 million to make. That's a lot of money. And it took only sold 500 between 1,000 units, and then it's just crazy. $400 million for this game that took a long time to make. 400 million. I'm just saying, you could make a whole lot of better games with 400 million. I mean, that's a crazy number right there. It's not good. It's actually it's sad. It's sad for a game to take 8 years to make and $400 million. 8 years, 400 million for this, for Concord. Man, oh man, that is some crazy work right there. That is actually insane work, I would say, because again, I don't know anything about game design or anything, but I feel like if I had access to $400 million and I was to make a video game, I think I could. I think anybody, almost anybody, could cook up something better than what Concord did. Um, but yeah, so I think I'm done talking about Concord. I spent the majority of this video talking about it. I have other examples to talk about, and I think the next one I want to talk about is X Defiant. X Defiant is a game that was, I guess, most comparable to Call of Duty. It's obviously trying to rival Call of Duty because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of games trying to compete with Call of Duty nowadays anymore. I mean, there's obviously still games that try to, but X Defiant was literally called the Call of Duty killer um, when it came out or whatever. And I did play the game. Okay, unlike unlike Concord, because obviously I'm not on PlayStation or PC or anything. I played X Defiant. And I'm going to be honest, I did enjoy that first. It came out before Black Ops 6 came out, so... And I did not like Modern Warfare 3, so I was not going to go and play Modern Warfare 3 instead, because I believe that game is a $70 DLC trash, and that's how I see Modern Warfare 3. It is a shame that it's even called Modern Warfare 3, because the real Modern Warfare 3 is much better. The real Modern Warfare 2 is much better than the other one they made, and... the only new Modern Warfare game that I think is good is the Modern Warfare 2019 one. That one's great, but the other two they released, terrible. But we're not talking about Call of Duty. Speaking of which, though, I do want to make a video kind of going on my own personal opinion and also what other people think, and just overall the current state of Call of Duty, because it's not in a good state, but it's also not in a terrible state. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but I'll talk more about it when that video comes up. Let's get back to X Defiant. I mean, XFI, when I played it, again, it was an alright game, I think. I honestly enjoyed it at first, and it did have the P90, and the P90 is like one of my favorite guns. But I did not play just for that, of course. It's not a bias and thing like that. But the game kind of filled a void because, again, it came out after Modern Warfare 3, obviously. And by the time by the time it came out, actually, I need to know, when did XFI come out? By the time it came out, I believe, fucking... Oops, sorry, I apologize. YouTube, don't kill me. May 21st. So by that time, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was losing players. You know, I'm not saying it did lose all of its players, but it was... By the time X Defiant came out, they were already... Activision and all of that, they were already kind of shifting their focus towards Black Ops 6. Obviously, Modern Warfare 3 was still receiving stuff, but... X Defiant came out May 21st, and I believe it's shutting down at some point this year. Let me pull that up. When is X Defiant shutting down? I need to know. It's still up right now, I believe. Yeah, it should still be up. XDefiant is shutting down June 3rd, 2025. So if you want to play and enjoy it, now's your time. Um, I did enjoy it for a while. I'm going to be honest. I liked it. But like Call of Duty, like a month later, it kind of fell out of my favor, and I just started playing other games. To be honest, because with XDefiant, I noticed one thing: it had network issues. I just noticed them, but despite my lag, like I would lag in that game, and it's not because of my terrible internet. It's because the game has terrible servers. And honestly, I just don't know. The game just had it couldn't retain players. I think that's part of one issue why it failed. I mean, I left about a month later at least, and it's also competing in a free to play market where there's so many games in that market that are called free to play that are free to play, and there's so many other games that are 100% better than Xify, to be honest. You know, you have I mean, there's Fortnite. That would be one of the biggest free to play games ever. I mean, not saying Xify is competing with it in that category, but Fortnite's more than just a simple battle royale game at this point. I mean, it has freaking all kinds of shit now. So Fortnite is more than just a battle royale game. So if you make your game free to play, just know you're competing with not just many other free to play games. You're essentially competing with Fortnite because free to play games, I feel like they have their own kind of competition lining compared to like paid games. So like a game in between like Call of Duty and Battlefield, they both like they battle on who which game sells more and which whatever. When it comes to free play games, it doesn't have that selling point. I mean, not selling point, but it doesn't have that paid point. So they just who plays the game more because there's nothing stopping anybody from playing it. The only difference is X Defiant was next gen only, I believe. So it's only on PC and PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to Xify, I did personally enjoy it for a little bit, but it kind of just fell off in my opinion. And then I feel like obviously the reason why it's failing is the same thing. And I think around like when the game had like season, I stopped playing like shortly after season one came out, I think. And then season two came out. I touched it like maybe a couple times, and then I finally decided to uninstall it to make more space on my Xbox for other games, to be honest. Because Xify again, it just could not retain players. I mean, it's very obvious. It's literally getting shut down soon, and it's quite crazy to think about this game. It had the backing of Ubisoft and all that, and it has all their IPs and shit in it. They have a. It's all tied. It's like a tied-in game. I guess it has like stuff from like not Rainbow Six. No, they do have stuff from Rainbow Six Siege, I think, and then they have stuff from like Far Cry. I think they have like a Far Cry themed map or stuff. And then they have what's the other game? I never forgot the name. I'm forgetting the Division. Yeah, they have stuff from the Division. But Xify, in my opinion, was again what was an alright game, but I just feel like it just had too many issues. And by the time, especially the moment Call of Duty came out, that's especially what killed Xify because because obviously I'm assuming some people played Xify because they didn't like Modern Warfare 3, and they wanted something similar to Call of Duty, maybe. And that's kind of why that's the reason why I played it. I did not like Modern Warfare 3, and I wanted something similar to Call of Duty, so I got X Defy. And again, since it was free, there was nothing stopping me. Because to be honest, if this game cost money, I felt like it would have shut down sooner. But X Defiant, it just it just couldn't make it. I don't think. Especially again, once Black Ops 6 came out, and I'm not trying to say Black Ops 6 is a great game, because in my opinion, Black Ops 6 is alright, but it has so many issues of its own that I will talk about in the Call of Duty video when that's coming up soon. X Defiant just could not compete with Call of Duty, because obviously Call of Duty is, I think it's a bad luck charm to actually call yourself any kind of game a Call of Duty killer. Any game that calls itself a killer of another game always fails. You can look at so many different examples of the past. If you go back in time and look at games that are trying to compete with Halo and call themselves the Halo killer, the game died out itself. Okay? All these other games that tried to compete with Halo back in the day, they failed miserably. And sure, you could say, oh, Halo's dead now. Yeah, Halo failed itself because of its terrible ran. I mean, Microsoft. I also have a video about Halo too. I love Halo, and it's my favorite game franchise, and since I'm a big fan of the franchise, I would love to go into a deep dive conversation about why Halo is just having its issues and what happened to it. But that's for later. When it comes to X Defiant and against Call of Duty, I mean, what would rather people play? Would people rather play Call of Duty that's, again, has a campaign? And some people don't play Call of Duty for the campaign. There's people who literally only buy it. And there's nothing wrong with not playing the campaign, but like if you're only buying it for the multiplayer, what are you doing? But Call of Duty has the campaign that's usually good. Call of Duty campaigns are usually good for the most part. Except for Modern Warfare 3, that one's terrible. And Vanguard's campaign. And Black Ops 3. Those are the only three campaigns I can think of off the top of my head that are terrible. I mean, XFI doesn't have zombies or anything. Obviously, it's a different game, but I mean, XFI only had its multiplayer, and that's it. And if you're trying to call yourself the Call of Duty killer, and they're only trying to kill it through the multiplayer, Call of Duty is not just the multiplayer anymore. It's not just a standard multiplayer, team deathmatch, whatever. It has Warzone. And if you're trying to take down Call of Duty, you also have to compete with Warzone, and X Defiant couldn't do that. Not saying X Defiant had to be a battle royale game to compete with that, but it just didn't have it. And there's also zombies. Black Ops 6 Zombies, in my opinion, I haven't played much of it, but it's pretty good. It's by far probably the best zombies we've had in a while, which is nice. But it's unfortunately tied behind a game that's has many issues. Again, I will get into that in the future. Not very far. I will be recording this video probably soon, easily. But yeah, that's enough for X Defiant. I think I talked about it enough. Just same thing with Concord. X Defiant just failed because don't call yourself Call of Duty Killer though. Any game that calls itself by its title, whether it's Call of Duty Killer, Halo Killer, whatever killer, all those games that call themselves that, guess what? They all fail themselves. I think it's like a bad luck genre, as I already mentioned, and it clearly is, because all the Halo killers back in the day, they never killed Halo. Halo killed itself. And then when it comes to Call of Duty is not necessarily... Call of Duty is actually hurting itself, by just not being very good. But, Call of Duty used to be good. Again, that's safe for the video in the future. But for the point being, XDefiant is not a Call of Duty killer, because Call of Duty is still, I would say, probably it's still better than XDefiant for sure. So XDefiant can't try to call itself the Call of Duty killer, because guess what? XDefiant just ended up failing. Legit, I think by like season 2, they were saying, oh, if we don't reach a certain amount of players by season 3, we're going to shut the game down. And that's exactly what happened. And now the game's being shut down. Let's go to one more example. Multiverses. I think we all know this one. This game had an open beta like a while ago. And people played it. And then they shut down the beta. And then they basically killed all the momentum for the game because they shut down the beta that people were liking for the most part, I think. I never played it, so I can't give my total opinion on it. But they dropped the beta. The beta was, out for a while, and then they shut down the beta and I think they took a while just to release the game. That's just going to kill all your momentum. And Multiverse is obviously a Smash Bros. Like game, because Smash Bros. Those kind of games like that, I think it's a smaller market. There's not a whole lot of games like that from my knowledge. I think there's only obviously Smash Bros. And there's like that one game called Brawlhalla, and then I think obviously Multiverses. Obviously it's Warner Bros. They have all their characters, DC characters, all kinds of characters under that umbrella. And so they could really do a lot with iconic characters against Smash Bros., who has another large collection of iconic characters. But it seems like Multiverses just didn't make it. I never played the game, so I don't... It appears it did not have it did not have a whole lot of players. I'm looking at stuff right now, and it's just saying it's shutting down partially because of low player counts and insufficient profits from the game. Were people not buying the game, or were people not buying microtransactions? I don't know. But yeah, this game just... I never played it, so I can't give my initial opinion on it. I just know from what I read on here that it's shutting down soon. I think it's shutting down soon. I gotta check when is Multiverses shutting down. I think if I can pull it up. But contrary, let's get to the next topic. Another game I wanted to mention really quickly before I get back into it is a game called Crossfire X that launched 2022. It had a beta all the way back in 2020. I played that beta. It's like a tactical shooter, so it was like kind of like a, I don't even know what to compare it to. It's a tactical shooter. It was a Xbox exclusive. I believe it was on PC as well. The game suffered from lack of polish. It's just one of those examples of a free-to-play game that came out. It actually had a campaign, though, but the campaign cost money, and the campaign was reportedly mid. I never played it, so I wouldn't know. But the game had its beta in 2020. Then it took like 2 years to come out, and then when it did come out, it was terrible. It's kind of like Concord again. It's like, oh, we're gonna take. I mean, not saying I'm not comparing the two because obviously, Crossfire X. I'm not sure how long that was in development for, but it had its beta in 2020, and then it took 2 years just to come out, and then it came out mid. So, I mean, you have 2 years to fix it up, and then you don't. Man, there's a lot of examples. There's a lot of games that just come out and just suck. But I think I'm essentially done talking for now. I think that's all I got to say for this video. Yeah, so hold on. I just want to check when is Multiverse is shutting down real quick, if it'll let me. When is it shutting down? I need to know that. Oh, by the way, I feel bad for all the PlayStation people who had their stuff down for like hours. Yeah, when is Multiverse is going down? Well, that's not helpful. It's shutting down with Season 5. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure how far it is, but I guess it's shutting down soon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry this video was a little all over the place. Again, I'm new to this. I'm still getting better, but give me time. I'll get better. Thank you all for watching. If you want to leave a comment, go ahead. You know, let me know if you think there's some other games that failed. I mean, go ahead and talk about whatever you want. Yeah, that's all for today. I'm going to be uploading this video and the next video at the same time, so you'll see 2 brand new videos up on the channel to watch. More videos are coming out soon. I have another one coming out probably in a couple days. I might record it today and maybe upload it today too. I don't know. But I've yapped enough. This video is already 22 minutes. I don't need to keep it going. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like. I'm not going to threaten you. I'm not going to be like those YouTubers like the video. Or else. If you don't like this video, there will be a frog at your house. Or wherever you live. There will be a frog, and the frog will forever watch you. And the frog will, I don't know, eat the bugs in your house. I don't know. But feel free to like. Feel free to subscribe. But again, thank you. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video.